Kevin Hart. Now, you know when Katt Williams said gatekeepers?
Yeah.
We get a call from Endemol. Endemol says, we just got a call from Kevin Hart's manager, Dave Becky. And Dave Becky said, Kevin doesn't want anything to do with Monique. So whatever she told y'all, he doesn't want to do anything with her, nothing. You know, he doesn't want any kind of relationship with Monique. That was 2 years ago. If you talk to him, I talk to him. I've never talked back to Kevin Hart again.
Child, y'all might want to grab a chair for this one, because Monique just completely destroyed Kevin Hart and exposed him for being an industry lapdog after she spilled some major tea about the time that he betrayed her to please the higher-ups in the industry. Now, if y'all remember, Katt Williams also called Kevin out a couple months ago about the exact same thing, and even went as far as to claim Kevin was an industry plant who only got that far because he's willing to do everything he's told to do in exchange for money. Kevin tried to brush it off by trolling Katt and making him look crazy, but after the recent revelation from Monique, people are really starting to give Kevin the side eye.
When we have our juggernauts, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, these are our juggernauts of our community. These are the people that our babies say, when I grow up, I want to be that.
Yes.
I want to be like that. So we have to call those people to the mat and say, listen, what are you teaching our babies? You're feeding poison because you're showing them your private jet.
Okay, so as most of y'all already know, Kevin Hart has been getting dragged all over the internet for a couple weeks now for major reasons. He got into the first controversy of the year after his ex-assistant Maisha Shakes had a very explosive interview with Tasha K when she exposed him for being a serial cheater and a gambling addict.
She pregnant again.
Correct, with her second baby.
And he's still leaving semen stains all over the couch at the Heartbeat studio.
Correct.
And showering and then going home like.
I told Aniko, like, Kevin is cheating on you with a girl named Mix Norgan. She's his flight attendant. She's on his planes.
Does Kevin have a gambling problem or something?
His game is poker.
He gambled y'all money away and had to pay y'all half checks?
Yes, well, exactly. It was Leland. Leland was messing with our money. But I said, here she is.
She got it. She on vacation every day. When you see her picture, all she do is post vacation pictures with no nigga beside her. The taking the picture. She say, nah, baby. Girl, you know I'm gonna take the pictures for you as many angles as you want, but I can't to ensure he don't go up in these mother photos.
Right after this video aired, it immediately went viral, and Kevin got a ton of backlash. Things got so bad that he filed a $250,000 lawsuit against Tasha for defamation. He claimed Tasha tried to extort him by threatening to run an interview that Maisha did, and everything she said about him was nothing but lies. But even before Kevin could pull himself through with that lawsuit, he was slammed again with a series of allegations by his longtime nemesis, Katt Williams. After Katt went on Club Shay Shay and called Kevin out for being an industry plant, Katt exposed Kevin for selling his soul and his morals for money and claimed that Kevin has no limit when it comes to the things he's willing to do for a check. Not only that, but he called Kevin a fraud and said that there was no proof of Kevin working his way to the top like what the other celebrities had to do. It was like 1 minute nobody knew who he was, and the next minute he was everywhere.
Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. And
he also accused Kevin of sometimes taking money from the elites to not speak up against important issues and only push the narratives that they want him, not wanting to compromise his morals. He was kicked out of a lot of roles, which were later given to Kevin Hart because Kevin has no moral compass and was willing to do whatever they asked him. Revelations from Katt really shook the table and had people bashing Kevin for days. And after all the commotion that came from this, a lot of people began to call on Monique to also come on Club Shay Shay and speak her truth about what Tyler Perry and Oprah had done to her. And Monique showed up, and baby, she shocked everybody when she revealed that Kevin was also one of the people that betrayed her and left her for dust. This was a huge shock to a lot of people because this was the first time she had ever mentioned anything about Kevin doing her dirty. She said everything that Katt said about Kevin was nothing but the truth, and even recalled the time that Kevin betrayed her and left her hanging to please the higher-ups in the industry. Perry. According to Monique's recollection of events, Kevin had invited her on a special episode of the podcast Gold Mines, where he allowed her to vent about her frustrations in the industry and to open up more about how Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and Oprah Winfrey had blackballed her. According to Monique, Kevin succeeded in convincing her that he was on her side and that he wasn't rocking with any of the BS. He even promised her that he was going to hit up Tyler Perry right after the show and make him do right by her. However, Kevin called back just a few days later and told Monique that Tyler was not interested in revisiting the whole situation. Kevin then went on to make Monique a promise to support any project that she had in mind, and even went as far as to promise to executive produce her projects.
Kevin Hart. Now, you know when Katt Williams said gatekeepers?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, I do his podcast.
Yes.
And I want y'all to re-listen to the podcast so you can hear it for yourself. When he first comes on, he says, "You're like my mother. You're like my aunt. You're like my sister." Okay? Then we do the podcast. We speak about the Tyler Perry situation. Oprah Winfrey, he said, "I don't really know Oprah, but I'm going to reach out to Tyler." I appreciate that. Kevin kept his word. He reached out to Tyler Perry. Kevin Hart called me back about maybe a week or so later. He said, "Mo, I talked to Tyler. He said he don't want to revisit it. He said, but I tell you what, let's move past that, Mo. Let's just move past that and let's just do great things. So whatever
That's what Kevin said.
I want you to hear me, Kevin Hart. Let's move past that, Mo. Let's do some great things together. Don't even worry about it. Whatever y'all want to do, I will partner with you. I'll executive produce with you. You just let me know what you want to do." Now, let me say that before we go any further, because I want to make sure I give Kevin Hart his proper credit. When my family was up against the wall, Kevin Hart wrote us a check and said, "Here you go." We're forever grateful for that. When we were able to give it back, we said, "Brother, we appreciate you with some interest on top," because I don't ever want nobody to think
Feel like they
me
gave
and my
more.
husband. So I want to make sure I put that out there. That brother really helped us out when we needed to be helped out. Then when he came back with, "I got you," I didn't ask Kevin Hart to do anything. He said, "I'll executive produce. I'll partner with you." I said, "Good Kevin, because we're in a deal with Endemol and we're trying to get our talk show back. Mo, whatever it is, I got you." Now, Kevin Hart is one of the biggest entertainers right now in the world,
Correct.
right? And was then. We got off the phone with Kevin Hart. We called Endemol immediately and said, Kevin Hart said, whatever we want to do, he got us. He's going to partner, executive use. They was like, "Oh, this is incredible," because when you put Kevin Hart's name on it, you already know what it is.
Correct.
Now, as you can see, Monique was very excited when Kevin made these promises because he was going to help her get her career back on track. However, a few weeks after he did all this big talk and promised her all these things, his manager called the whole thing off and said Kevin wasn't going to help her with the projects anymore. Monique then hit Kevin up privately to show what was really going on, and he claimed there was some miscommunication and that he was going to get back to her. However, it's been over 2 years now, and he hasn't acknowledged Monique since. Now, mind you, Monique had never asked him to do any of the stuff he had promised he was going to do. All she wanted to do was come on the podcast to speak her truth. He was the one that took it upon himself to make all these promises only to completely cut her off and blindside her for no reason.
2 weeks go by. We get a call from Endemol. Endemol says, "We just got a call from Kevin Hart's manager, Dave Becky." And Dave Becky said, "Kevin doesn't want anything to do with Monique. So whatever she told y'all, he doesn't want to do anything with her, nothing. You know, he doesn't want any kind of relationship with Monique."
So what changed between the 2 weeks and plus he gave you a check, you gave the money back, then said he would partner with you, executive produce, whatever you need, Mo, hey, we got you. So what transpired, or what do you think transpired between then, that 2 week period?
Well, soon as we got off the phone and they told us what Kevin's manager, David Becky, said, I called Kevin Hart immediately. I said, "Hey, baby, we just got off the phone with Endemol and they said Dave Becky called them up and said, you don't want anything to do with me." He said, "Mo, that's a miscommunication. I can tell you right now." I said, "Wait a minute. Are you okay though with this white man calling them up? Getting in between our relationship after something you said?" He said, "Mo, that's a miscommunication and we're going to talk Tuesday. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, it's a miscommunication." That was 2 years ago. If you talk to him, I talk to him. I've never talked back to Kevin Hart again. So that's what we're faced with. When you allow somebody to come in between a relationship with a woman that you said, I'm like your mother. You said I'm like these things. I didn't ask you for that.
Now, I ain't even gonna lie, that's very clownish on Kevin's part, and it's clear as day he probably got that call from the higher-ups not to associate with Monique. So instead of him being man enough to tell her, he decided to ghost her and move on with his life like she's nothing. But Monique didn't stop there. She also said the reason that Kevin's behavior hurt her so much was because he was actively associating with people like Tyler Perry, who've done nothing but stop her bag. She said she thought Kevin was different from them and that he was actually going to do things differently, but he ended up doing the exact same thing that they did to her. She even went on to reveal that she was initially offered the role of Cookie on the show Empire, but as a result of the statements that Tyler had made in the past about her being difficult to work with, the role was snatched from her and given to Taraji.
It's so easy to discount and devalue because of what we look like.
Right.
However, when it comes to Tyler Perry, I will not allow you to discount or devalue, because Cookie from the show Empire, I was offered that role. Now Taraji tore it up, baby. Listen here. However, I was offered that. Then Felita called me back and say, baby girl, they said you're too difficult to work with. But you hear on the audio that a man told David Talbot I was difficult to work with. Do you see how that cost my family?
Yes.
And with no accountability because, oh, it's the great Tyler Perry? No, you've got to be accountable for that. Oprah Winfrey, you've got to be accountable for the things you've done with my family. You've got to be accountable for that. When we have our juggernauts, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart. These are our juggernauts of our community. These are the people that our babies say, when I grow up, I want to be that.
Yes.
I want to be like that. So we have to call those people to the mat and say, listen, what are you teaching our babies? You're feeding poison because you're showing them your private jet. I'm going to show you my mansion. I'm going to show you my fancy cars, but my character is shot and I'm bankrupt. I got a lot of money in my bank. It's more zeros than some of them than we can imagine. But their character, they are bankrupt. Those are bankrupt people. So everybody that Katt sat right here and told you about, I can't wait to see your next interviews with those people.
So as y'all can see, Katt's remarks about Kevin being a lapdog and not having any limit on what he'll do to please the higher-ups in the industry are all true. He left Monique in the dust after making her those promises because he was afraid of the heat that would come with him doing the right thing. He's part of the gatekeepers in Hollywood, and he's in all the cahoots with Tyler and Oprah to sabotage Monique. Monique does not deserve all the disrespect that she gets, and it's really sad to see people like Kevin Hart, who put up this persona of being such a good person, yet actively do such evil things behind the scenes. Now, as usual, people had a whole lot to say about this mess, and they took to social media to drag Kevin for filth. Like this person who said, I had to pause the show for a minute. My heart aches for how they treated Monique. Tyler Perry, Oprah, even Kevin Hart are snakes. I mean, I knew this, but to hear the details, wow. Another person said, damn, this Monique interview with Shannon Sharpe is good as F. I hate that Kevin Hart, Oprah, and Tyler Perry are trying to discredit her character. I need justice for Monique to trend badly. She deserves it. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Monique exposing Kevin Hart for betraying her? And do y'all think Kevin is really being controlled by the elites in the industry? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.